think so, dude.
Yeah. Bang, Brody.
It's been a minute.
You know, we talked last week. We are like, yeah, we say we're back every week and shit. You know what I mean? Now we're actually back.
Yeah, we actually took a while off of filming.
Took like a month off,
second.
bro. It wasn't even our faults. We got. I mean, since the last episode y'all seen, the Lotto ep, 2 days after we filmed that ep, I realized we were notified by our landlord that we have to be out.
That was 2 days after we filmed
2 days
that?
after we filmed that.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we got an email. He goes, I'm redeveloping the lot. I'm knocking the house down. Basically figure it out.
yeah.
And so we've been scrambling for the past couple of weeks to find a new place to live. So the odds are this is probably going to be the last episode we film in this house.
Yeah, certainly could be.
Pretty crazy.
We're moving out.
Yeah, hence why we're on the couch right now.
Yeah.
The studio's being packed up and we're getting ready to roll. But
Insane, bro. I've been, oh man, that was stressful as fuck. I'm not going to get into the details of it, but
just not knowing if we were going to have a place to live.
literally, like, yeah, it was stressful, bro. It was stressful. I mean, I had a couple panic attacks over the last few weeks, and that was like, I mean, that just, my body was in fight or flight. Like, I wasn't sleeping well. It was like, it was fucking dark.
Yeah.
Dark, so.
I mean, it's like anybody who has moved recently can attest to, you know, it's just difficult to find a place, not only a place to live, but a place that you want to call home.
Yeah.
And a place that you feel comfortable digging your roots into and, you know, really not just being a place to live, but like I said, making it a home, man. Like that's the tough part. And so we found a spot. Our new property managers seem really, really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, we're
but amidst all of that, we're trying to get back to the hang.
Facts.
So we are actually back.
We're back. Feels good. Feels good to be talking into the mics again. Yeah, yes,
Winnie's back with us too.
Yeah, Winnie.
Oh.
God.
Winnie's probably going to make a lot of appearances in this episode.
Yeah. Hi. She's a bum. All right, what are we talking about, bro? Let me take us in. This was an idea we had a while ago, and we're talking about dreams. Mm-hmm. We mentioned it like our top 3 nightmares or some shit in the top 3 episode. But I want to dive deeper into the dream thing. I want to talk about sleep a little bit first too, because like that's kind of the precursor. I was thinking about sleep the other day, and I was just like, isn't it fucking weird?
Yeah, you just go bye-bye for a little bit.
Yeah, you cease to exist for a third of your life, dude. Like you just lay down and just shut off, kind of. It's bizarre.
Yeah, I find it weird how you can intentionally fall asleep.
Right.
You know, I mean, you can accidentally fall asleep, obviously,
sure.
but you can make a very conscious decision to go into your bed and go, I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah.
And then you fall asleep.
I mean, yeah, hopefully you've struggled with that.
Yeah. I definitely struggle with insomnia quite a bit. So maybe we can touch on that, but you keep going.
Yeah. I mean, most living things do it or have some sort of rest cycle. Except for like, I was kind of looking at this up, like, are there animals that don't sleep? And sharks, they like rest, but they can't stop moving.
Oh, damn,
they can't stop moving. So it's just like, and they live a long time, I think, sharks. And
I mean, good for them, dude. They don't have to turn off the engine every now and then.
Yeah, it's just fucking crazy, bro. I think that just makes them more horrifying. That just adds to the horror allure of sharks.
Yeah, right. They're like, just, you're sleeping, I'm up grinding.
Yeah. It's like, fuck that.
I'm up putting in the work.
You're already pissing me off, all right? You're already pissing me off. Okay, I can't afford to be upset right now. Go away. Stop. Obviously, you sleep in stages. So, like, I was looking this up. I mean, obviously, people know this, REM and non-REM. Each lasting about an hour and a half, 90 minutes. Like, non-REM, I guess, is when most of the physical repair happens. And then the REM is, like, the memory and emotional processing, the rapid eye movement, whatever.
Sure.
That's when you do the majority of your dreaming, I guess. So, this is something interesting that I found out. I want to share it with you, bro. I was like, this rapid eye movement thing, like REM cycle. I actually was like, do your eyes rapidly move or whatever?
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah.
And research suggests that the eye movements during REM sleep are not random, but are instead coordinated with what is happening in the dream state.
Oh, what?
Isn't that crazy?
So are your eyes mirroring your eye movements that are in the dream? Like if you're, looking at cars going by, are your eyes going to be doing this?
That's what I understand of this. It says when a person dreams of turning their head or looking in a certain direction, their eye movements during REM sleep tend to follow that direction.
That's super weird.
According to a study.
Isn't it? Here's something I've always thought of that is really bizarre. It's one of those things when you think about it too much, it freaks you out because it's so normal. When you think about closing your eyes, right? But think about the fact that your eye is still behind the eyelid.
Right. It feels like it's moving right now.
Right. If you did, it feels like your eyes like kind of disappear. Like mentally, I imagine my eyes disappearing when I shut my eyes or when I shut my eyelids. But the reality is that, like, if someone cut off my eyelids, it would just look like this. I'd be asleep, but it would look like this.
Right.
Isn't that just bizarre?
Yeah. Well, I wonder why we shut them when we sleep. Is it maybe to protect like spiders from diving in there? I don't know. Dude,
I would imagine it has to do with light.
Apparently, you eat during your sleep like 7-8 spiders a year.
Dude, I heard that's a fucking rumor. Come on, I don't think that's true.
It's at least 2.
That's an average. So there's one guy out there eating 265 spiders a year and just ruining the statistics for the rest of us.
Dude, I don't know if I saw it on Instagram or social, whatever. I saw that spiders are like pretty smart. They like can learn people's cycles and routines, and so they'll operate when they know they're asleep, which is like now it's like the shark thing. It's like, why are you on the move all the time?
Why do you care what I do?
Right.
Oh my gosh, now I'm gonna have to switch up my routine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Fuck that.
God, I was actually just watching this like documentary thing on YouTube about the 42 assassination attempts that were made on Hitler, and all of them failed. And they talked about how he was so paranoid that he switched up his schedule and made it so erratic that no one could ever follow it. That's going to be me with the spiders at night, bro.
Wait, say that again about Hitler?
Hitler, so there were 42 attempts made to assassinate him.
Oh, shit.
And all of them failed.
Wow.
And Hitler's routine and schedule was so crazy and erratic and irregular that it was really difficult for people to figure out where and when he was going to be.
That was by design, obviously, or no?
Yeah, I mean, he was a super paranoid dude.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that's how I'm going to be.
Oh, yeah.
With the spiders.
Yeah. We don't mess with spiders.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah. I was reading some other research about dreams in particular. Apparently, people typically have 4 to 6 dreams per night.
What?
Yeah, right. During REM sleep, the amygdala, which is like your emotional center, obviously we know the amygdala, it's vital for processing fear, anxiety, threat identification. So the amygdala is more active during REM sleep, while the prefrontal cortex, which is like kind of for logic and reasoning, is less active, which makes sense considering dreams, like personally, my dreams tend to be like kind of emotionally intense, but make no fucking sense. Like there's no logic.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know about your dreams, like in general.
My dreams don't really tend to be emotionally charged.
Okay.
They're usually just psychologically bizarre.
Right. So they make no sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that they don't make any sense. I mean, I guess it like makes sense to who, you know what I'm saying? Like it makes sense to me when I'm in the dream, but a lot of the situations are very, very bizarre. Like stuff that could happen in real life.
Okay, mine are just not even, they break the laws of physics.
Yeah, sometimes me too, but oftentimes I'm like for example, this is trigger warning, this is a little gross. I had a dream one time that we had a dog, my first dog. He died when I was, pretty young. And I had this dream that right before he died, he had dysentery. And in order to preserve his memory, my mom kept like a plastic bag of his fucking diarrhea. And in the dream, she was like, "Look, it's Jack. It's all we have left of him." You know what I'm saying? Like it was super weird, dude. But that could happen. You know what I'm saying?
I guess.
It's not
No, for sure.
It doesn't break the laws of physics, but it definitely drives a wedge between the relationship.
Yeah, that's shit, man.
Please don't think I'm weird.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I rarely remember my dreams, bro. Like, how often do you remember your dreams? Like, I rarely remember mine.
It depends. I think usually the more intense they are, the more I remember them. Dude, I went through a period in my life. You know how you're supposed to wake up when you die in a dream?
Yeah.
I went through this period of my life where I kept dying in my dreams and I would not wake up.
What do you mean?
Like I would get shot or I would get, run over by a car or something. Like I would die. Somehow I'd fall from a height or something and I just wouldn't wake up. And I was just like sitting there. I knew I was dead. It was super weird,
That's so weird.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, it was a dark time, but it's just find it interesting. Like,
did you just like in the dream? Were you just like at your funeral? I don't understand. Or you're just
I was just dead.
Dead.
I like knew I was dead. It was like I was consciously dead. It was weird.
Okay,
Dude.
okay. I think I know. What
Very
you're
weird. But to it's to make the point of like we have all these rules about dreams that we think are in place, but sometimes they just are so bizarre that they just don't follow those rules.
Right.
It's weird, man.
Right. Yeah, it is weird. I remember, as far as like recalling my dreams, I don't really recall much of them ever. I noticed that when I am woken up by an alarm clock, I like don't remember my dreams really.
Oh, interesting.
But if I allow myself to wake up naturally, say I'm on vacation or whatever, I just I'm just gonna turn the alarm off, whatever. I'll remember them. I'll have more vivid dreams. And I looked this up, and it makes sense because I guess when the REM cycle is uninterrupted, it's like you fucking bug flying around me. The dream recall is influenced by waking up during or shortly after REM sleep. So if you wake up shortly after you get that cycle in, or like you're right in the prime of it, you'll probably remember your dream. But 4 to 6 per night, like come on, like I'm thinking about starting a dream journal. I might start.
You should, man. Yeah. You should. Isn't it weird how when you sleep and when you dream, like the time dilation that happens in your dreams, like sometimes it feels like it goes so fast, and all of a sudden you're waking up in the morning.
Yes.
Like why? Yes. Why do we experience time differently when we're asleep?
I don't know. Maybe like because I've had dreams that go multiple day spans in the dream.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I'm saying?
But it doesn't actually feel
it's like watching a movie.
Hours.
Like you watch a movie over the course of, and the movie
you just get the highlights.
Yeah, the movie. You get all the important parts, and it might be a week that the movie takes place. But I dreamed it in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's interesting.
Here's an idea. If I gave you the option to when you dream, you got to like physically be in that dream, right? Whether a scary or a great dream, it's a roll of the dice.
Okay.
But
so I'm choosing before I dive in.
It's virtual reality in your dream, right? But the caveat is that you have to experience it in real time. So you'll be in there. It's not going to be like quick dream time like we usually have. If you're in a scary dream, you have to stick it out for the amount of hours that you're actually asleep. Are you taking that?
No, because I feel like most of my dreams are wacko. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I can't really. I don't remember the last time. There's a couple times in my life where I remember I was having an unbelievable dream, and I was like, oh fuck, I need to get back to sleep right now.
Right. But do you ever actually dive back into that dream?
One time I think I successfully did.
Dude, it's so hard.
It is wicked hard because then you're stressed out. You're like,
yeah, where I gotta find it. You're like going through the DVD rack in your brain. It's like, where's that one dream?
Come on.
I know it's so weird how when you come out of it, like
I've been able to do it before though.
Really?
I have. Yeah, it has to be an immediate fall back asleep, but I've flown back into it. And I don't know what that means. Is almost as if I repaired that one REM cycle. I just snuck right in.
Did you ever actually come out of
maybe not?
Did you fully come out of your sleep state?
Maybe not.
Sometimes you know how you'll get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and someone says, "Oh yeah, last night when you got up to go to the bathroom," you go, "I don't remember going to the bathroom last night."
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time.
I know, because I know. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? You gotta tell. It's so funny.
It's not going to be a factor anymore.
I know.
RIP with the new crib. But yeah, Jill Castle. I'm going to ask you that, bro. Where would you say you don't know what you're going to dream about?
I get to decide before I go to sleep.
Yeah, you got to live it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta. You're actually alive in your dream, right?
Yeah.
It's like Inception.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Because think about the things.
There's no risk, right? There's no risk. What if you die?
If you die, you actually wake up.
Okay, because sometimes the Inception, right? I know in the Rick and Morty Inception episode that if you die in your dream, you die in real life. Oh, that's why it was so sweaty.
Shit, man. I don't know. No, let's say in this scenario, if you die, you just wake up. I think because of the potential that there is to experience stuff in your dream that you will never experience in real life, I'm probably going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm in like a bad spell in my life, I'm probably going to go ahead and not do that. Because it could be some dark dreams, but
yeah,
I don't know. That's an interesting concept.
I was interested in this whole dream thing earlier. I was looking up like some theories about why do we dream. We don't fully understand this yet. We don't fully understand the full thing, but there's a lot of theories that I'm going to run through some of them real quick. Obviously, memory consolidation helps process memories from your waking life. It's like a real thing, I think. Emotional processing helps process emotional experiences, particularly traumatic and stressful events. This is something that I can attest to for sure. And studies have shown that reduced emotional reactivity after dreaming about the emotional event, indicating it's a kind of emotional therapy. So who needs therapy when I got my dreams? Just kidding.
It's therapy when I just sleep the rest of my life away.
Yeah. Dude, I had a rough time like my senior year of high school. I'm not going to dive into it super hard, but like my English class in particular, I didn't like. I don't know what was behind all that, but I hated being in my English class in high school.
Sure.
And I would have these nightmares for 10 years after I had them. Insane. I was in the class with like no pants on. You know, I didn't have my assignment done, whatever. Like it was like this like weird trauma that just like I would continue to dream about it and like years after. Like it's so fucking weird. Bro.
Like the anxiety you felt in real life.
Yes.
Regarding and around that class.
Yeah, and like that ship had sailed, like everything's all good. Years after, still was dreaming.
Weird, dude.
Super weird. Anyway,
it's that trauma that you don't even realize that you have, right? Especially that psychological trauma. I have a lot of dreams where I'm back in college, and like I just can't get to where I need to go, as if it's a locked part of the map.
Mm-hmm.
It has that feeling, or like. You know, I'm like, oh, I just need to go around this fence, and I go around the fence. I'm in a completely different place. And I have so many dreams about needing to get to a gig, or we're about to be on stage and like we're about to play, and I realize I don't have my cable or something, or I can't. I had this one dream one time where the stage was massive, and I was playing guitar, and my microphone was at the middle of the stage. And so the huge stage, so I'm on the side, I start running towards the middle of the stage. And as I am running toward it, the distance keeps getting longer. So I'm like, I'll never get to the microphone.
My mom said she has the can't get where you're going.
Yeah,
dream.
I hate those dreams.
So where does that come from? Did you fuck up one time and like not make it to a gig?
I don't know. Maybe it's just the anxieties of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Feeling like you need to be punctual or something like that. I'm not sure. But I do know that certain genres of dreams definitely do mean something.
Yeah.
And the one that I know for sure is have you ever had a dream where your teeth are falling out or they're crumbling?
No, but you mentioned this is what was the phobia?
It's basically just insecurity. If you feel a lot of insecurity in your life, you'll have dreams where your teeth are falling out.
Interesting. Shit. I don't know if I've had that one, but I definitely have insecurities. So
Oh, you're just so secure, bro.
I just stabbed the dream tonight. Another theory is threat simulation, which suggests dreams are a form of biological rehearsal.
Whoa.
Especially of dangerous situations. And apparently this could have had an evolutionary benefit.
Sure.
People dreaming about, maybe you run into a cheetah or something. I don't know. Dude, I was watching, you follow Nature is Metal on Instagram?
Oh my gosh. I used to. I had to mute those posts. Some of them are so unbelievably gruesome.
Yeah.
But it's a crazy account.
Crazy, dude. Crazy. I was watching a jaguar jump out of a tree onto like a crocodile or alligator or whatever. Like just into the water, holding its breath, like battling it's just like, what?
Jesus, bro.
So anyway, that was just something that I just thought of.
I mean, the other week, I had a song come to me in a dream. And
This interests me. Sorry. This shit interests me. Go ahead.
So this song came to me in my dream. It was chords and a melody. And the second I woke up, I rolled over and grabbed my voice memo and I was like, I kind of, put it in my voice memos. And then instead of going back to sleep, I basically stumbled into the studio and grabbed an acoustic guitar and like found the chords and the vocal melody. Because sometimes you dream about stuff like that and then you go to play it and you're like, this doesn't actually work. Dude, I played it and it was like, this is amazing.
Man, wow.
Holy crap. And it fucking came to me in a dream, dude. And like, I still have yet to figure out if it's already something, but I've been racking my brain. I'm like, I don't know where I would have got that from.
Is this released or no?
No. It's just, this happened like the other week, dude.
Was this that thing you were working on in that, like a day? You were just like cranking out something? Maybe.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Interesting.
But, yeah, wild. So if that song ever comes to fruition, we'll have to, not if, but when that song comes to fruition, we'll have to reference this episode.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. We might do a part 2 at some point because I am interested in like the dream journal thing. And I might be like,
yeah, maybe you can keep track and we can read it.
Bring some to the table, but
yeah.
Another theory, activation synthesis theory, claims dreams are the brain's way of making sense of random neural activity during REM sleep. The mind weaves the activity into a narrative, even if it's bizarre or surreal. I think that's pretty interesting. And then one last one is, have you heard of the default mode network?
No.
Okay, it's a network of brain regions that are active when you're not focused on external stuff. It's like an internal thing. And it's engaged, for internal thought processes like daydreaming or self-reflection, if you're remembering the past or imagining the future, stuff like that. And it's active when the brain is at rest. And it overlaps with the regions active during dreaming, which supports the idea that dreaming may be a kind of mind wandering or self-reflection, which I think is interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so.
It's not like, if you think about it, man, it's so crazy that we know as much as we do about dreaming.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely in awe of the scientists who study dreams.
Right.
And like, it's like how you can't go in there.
No.
Right. But we have instruments and, technologies that can measure brain activity and whatnot. But it's just like, what if you could just be dropped into the dream?
I'd like to imagine that technology would come to fruition someday.
I think it will.
I've had my mind blown so many times about technology advances in my own lifetime.
Yeah.
That to think that couldn't, like with the neuroscience and stuff, I think neuroscience in general, like studying the brain is very interesting and stuff. I think the more we learn about it, also with AI, bro.
Yeah.
AI could help us figure this shit out.
Who freaking knows?
As much as like AI kind of spooks me and stuff.
Yeah.
You can use AI. We got to have an AI episode, but AI could help us understand things. Certainly. Yeah. So
that shit's super interesting, man.
I think it's a good segue to like kind of you posing the question of, how it's funny how we know so much, because at one point for a long, long time, we didn't. It was,
right.
What are these?
Right.
I think that's a good segue into like how people thought about dreams in the past. So
Sure.
cultural perspectives on dreams. And I had a few notes here that I wanted to bring up. Ancient civilizations like the Egyptians thought dreams were messages from the gods or the deceased. And like they had like there were people that were dream interpreters, I guess.
Oh,
Which
interesting.
I think is interesting. The Greeks and Romans thought dreams could foretell the future or reveal hidden truths. And indigenous cultures, dreams were spiritual journeys or connections to ancestors in the natural world. Imagine knowing nothing about dreaming, and then you fall asleep because you're tired or whatever, and then you have these. You know what I mean? And like,
It's got to be the craziest discovery ever, dude.
they were probably pretty. There were no like alarm clocks. You just like woke up naturally.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you woke up, so you probably had vivid dreams. More vivid than what we do now. We're like poisoning ourselves with like fucking substances and
Blue
stuff.
light and all
Yeah,
that
and all
shit.
this shit. So I imagine the dreams were pretty raw.
Yeah, man.
From a religious perspective, Christianity, dreams appear in the Bible. They were often it was often like a divine communication thing. Islam, there were three types of dreams. There were true dreams from God, false dreams from the devil, and personal dreams from the self. I think that's interesting.
Oh.
That you can have three different kinds of dreams.
Yeah.
How do you tell them apart? It's interesting. Hindu and Buddhist dreams can carry karmic messages or spiritual insights. And then in Chinese tradition and Taoist and traditional Chinese medicine, dreams are linked to the health of internal organs and energy imbalances like the qi.
Interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Damn. Have you ever had a premonition?
Elaborate on that.
So, for example, one time I'm asleep and I'm having this dream that I'm on, those nature fire lookout towers? They'll have them in the middle of the mountains where you can go up real high and basically look around and see if there's any fires.
Yeah.
I'm basically in one of those, but I'm in kind of like an arid, semi-arid climate where it's like a lot of sand on the ground, but like some greenery. And I'm looking around and there's like kind of dunes. And I don't know, it was weird. It's a very unique location that I have never been before in my life. And then all of a sudden, flash forward, just the scene changes on a dime. And I'm in Boise and I'm playing a Sofar show, like in a small cafe.
I've heard of this dream. That part of it.
Yeah.
And I remember you were always like, I gotta go to Idaho.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was weird. I woke up with the strongest feeling of like a calling to go there and to just to play that show. It was so weird. And then I woke up and I started looking up national parks around Boise, and I can't remember which one it was, but I found one that like perfectly matched the description of the dream I had. It was fucking weird.
That's
dude.
a trip, bro.
I know. Really bizarre.
That's a trip, man. You got to go to Idaho.
I know. If anybody would like to sponsor a plane ticket to Boise so I can go play that Sofar show and fulfill my destiny,
maybe someone's there that's
hit my
gonna
DM.
change your life. I don't know.
Yeah. Who knows? What do you think, Winnie?
That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't know if I've had a premonition in the sense that I've had a dream that made me change something or do something or, I've had dreams in the sense that I have ambitions in life, obviously. Like we call those dreams and stuff. But I don't know, man. I've had some, I've had some great dreams. I've had some dreams that could win Oscars, man. I've had dreams that I've woken up and been like, oh God, I'm glad to be awake.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't real. Like, I've had some vicious nightmares and stuff. And I'm trying to remember if like the nightmares were a result of something. I remember, I'll admit this because, I'll be honest on this podcast. One time I never drink and drive. Never really did that. But there was one time that I was a little tipsy behind the wheel and I made it home safe, but I regretted it. Like it was like a deep shame that I felt. I was like, man, I shouldn't have done that. I was stupid. And I had dreams about it for weeks after.
Whoa.
Just that I was like, that I got arrested or that whatever. Bad things happened. And maybe it was my brain's way of communicating me, or the processing of the shame of doing that.
Yeah.
Never did it again. But man, I was punished in my dreams for that.
Weird.
Yeah. So it goes back to the emotional processing thing. Maybe it was therapeutic in a way. Maybe it bettered me in a way that I had those shitty dreams.
I mean, if you were coming out of that string of dreams being like, yeah, definitely shouldn't drink and drive, I would say it definitely bettered you.
Yeah. But it was gnarly. I've had dreams of my mom dying. That's always been one of my biggest fears. Just shit dreams. And then I've had bizarre dreams, bro. And let's talk about those for a sec. I know you just mentioned a couple. And in the top 3 episodes, we mentioned a couple, but I told you about the shark dream that I had, right?
Shark dream?
Yeah. Like my family's got a lake house, and I had this dream for years, bro, that there was a shark in the lake, freshwater lake, but there was just a 20-foot great white shark. And the lake was huge, and I couldn't be happy on the lake. I refused to swim. I was miserable because I was in fear that the shark was on the prowl, was going to right underneath me. I don't know. That was a dream that I had. I had another dream that was a recurring dream for a long time, that I was with my middle school crush in the sewer system.
What the hell?
Dude, yeah. Did I tell you? And then
she's watching this.
She's not. She's not. The funny thing was, like, she didn't even like me. Like, she didn't fuck with me.
Maybe you knew that, and that's why you were in the sewers.
I don't know.
It's crazy.
Man, we were in the sewers, and there was this rat king, and he had like an army of and these rats were like the size of like small people.
Jesus, dude.
And it was just like, what? Like, what?
That's bizarre,
bro,
man.
Yeah. That was one that I had fucking many times, dude. I don't understand.
Do you ever have dreams where something not conventionally scary happens in the dream, but for some reason your dream self interprets it as terrifying?
Can you give me like an example of maybe one you've had or something?
Sure. I have one that sticks out to me that I've had. I was in a field, and the field kind of sloped down, and at the kind of the bottom of the slope there was a stage, and the stage was elevated enough to the point where there was an opening underneath it, almost like a tunnel that you could walk through. And myself and maybe 50 or 60 other people were all kind of out in the field waiting for something to happen on that stage. I don't remember exactly what we were waiting for. But at one point, someone was like, oh, we got to, something happened with the show. We got to, go behind the stage. So everyone walks down and goes through the tunnel on the stage. And the field kind of continues after that, and it kind of curves off to the right. And we're all kind of standing there in a group, and I'm looking around. I'm like, what is going on? Like, why are we back here? Blah, blah, blah. And I see this like super, super, super tall woman, like 8 or 9 feet, talking to a normal sized woman. And I walk over to them and I'm like, what's going on? And the tall woman turns to me and she goes, I've been dead for 10 years. And the second she said that, it was as if I had a harness on with a fucking rope tied to the back, and that rope was tied to a fucking Formula One car. I was like pulled back super fast. And it was really weird. And I woke up, dude, and I was like shaking in fear from that. I don't know why I thought it was so scary.
That's very creepy.
Just this idea that I was talking to this woman, I suddenly found out that I was talking to a ghost. And then when I found that out, I was like literally launched from the scene. And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck was that? It was, oh my God, it was so weird, bro. And I literally got chills just thinking about it right now.
What did she look like? Remember?
She just looked normal, but she was just like 9 feet tall, which is creepy in a dream that you're talking to a human being and you're like, a height that no one is.
Yeah. That is fucking weird, man. That is weird.
Yeah. I don't know, but I will say on the topic of fear, I don't think we can have a dream episode without talking about sleep paralysis.
Yeah, man.
Have you ever had it?
Like one time. I know we've talked about it a couple times, but I had it once, and once or twice actually. No, I had it once actually, like within the last year, and then I had it years ago.
Damn.
Within the last year, it was like very brief. I shook myself out of it within like probably 15 seconds, but a few years back, I had it, and I saw a figure.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God.
Shut up.
I was looking in my closet. I had like an open closet.
First mistake.
Literally, bro. And I don't know if dude, it's like we talked about the dude in the coat or whatever.
The man in the hat.
The man in the hat. I don't know if that was necessarily what I saw, but I saw what looked to be a human just standing there, just in the darkness. It was like a silhouette. And it was absolutely horrifying.
I hate you for telling me this story,
dude.
Right
you
now.
don't want sleep paralysis. Like sleep paralysis is like, I guess the REM cycle gets disrupted.
Isn't it like your body comes out of sleep, but your brain remains in it? Type.
I think it's the other way around.
Oh,
I think your brain comes out of sleep, like the cycle gets disrupted, but your body is like locked in.
But aren't you right? But what's weird is like, isn't your brain
paralyzed.
still kind of half in a dream state?
Yeah,
That's
it must
why you
be.
hallucinate.
It must
things?
be. Yeah, it must be.
It's so scary.
But you're
bro.
aware of like the fact that you're awake, kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just horrifying, dude.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
It's horrifying.
I have a buddy. I think I might have told this on an earlier episode.
I think you did, but go ahead and tell it.
But
again.
he told me that him and his partner were staying in this super, super old hotel. And one night he woke up with sleep paralysis in the morning and saw a Victorian woman just standing in the doorway, just looking at him.
Like in detail and shit?
Yeah, I mean,
because that's just terrifying.
That's what he told me. You know, it's like it was a Victorian woman, like in a dress, and the whole thing, dude. And it turns out he never told his partner this, so hopefully he doesn't watch this. But it turns out a woman had died in that room, like committed suicide or something in that room. You know, many years ago.
You believe in ghosts?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
What's
think
good?
I do too. I think I do too. I mean, maybe when we're in that state, I don't know.
Who knows, dude?
You know what I'm
we
saying?
know what we think it is, and I don't want to sound like I'm gonna put my tinfoil hat on just for a second. But what if, sleep paralysis, you are really tapping into something
right,
like the paranormal or the supernatural or whatever.
Right.
Who knows, dude? It's super weird. Our brain, I feel like it's
the spirit world. Like, when you're born, you're said to forget your previous lives and lifetimes and stuff. Maybe to some extent, when you're awake, you can't. It's almost like an unconscious awareness, like that. When you're asleep, you can tap into it, and then. I don't know, man. There's so much. There's just so much gray area there that it's very fascinating. This concept of dreaming is very fascinating, and I think what I think I'm gonna start keeping a dream journal, and I'm gonna the next time we talk about something like this, I'm gonna bring out the journal. I'm gonna lay it all out. This is what we got.
I'll try to do the same.
Maybe it'll give me some sick ideas like the one you had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But the only thing is you have to do it immediately when you wake up. Don't even roll out of bed because if your feet hit the floor, dude, your body is all of a sudden in. It's time to wake up. It's morning time mode. It's time to shake the sleep off. So
right.
Yeah, you try to remain as close to the position you were sleeping in as possible, and just write that shit down real quick.
Yeah, I feel like writing would even be.
That'll definitely commit it to memory faster, but you can definitely type faster.
Yeah,
than you can write.
Oh, right. I was thinking like a voice recorder. Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah, you're knowing you, it'll be Krill, and it'll be like.
Have we talked about Krill? I don't know. I think Krill was mentioned in the episode that we never released. Krill is an alter ego of myself, Gil. Krill is a nasty dude. And when Gil is woken up abruptly or is forced out of REM immediately, Krill, who's just a real scumbag, appears. And Krill's not a nice guy. Krill is mean to his friends. He's not me. Just to make that clear. And so we joke like Krill, because I'll snap sometimes, and it's just Krill sucks. So
I know. I feel like recently with the move and everything, I've had to wake you up a couple of times. And
I feel like one time we didn't see Krill though.
No, not during this. I've seen Krill before.
No.
The first time I woke you, it was when I remember when it was. It was when I like came into your room and I was like, this was honestly my fault. This was so stupid.
I think I remember this. Yeah.
I literally came into your room in the morning. You must have been asleep for like maybe 3 hours, and I was like, yo, can I get one of those yerba mates?
Oh yeah.
And you texted me, you're like, bro, don't ever fucking do that again.
I mean, that's like me waking you up at 3 a.m. to be like, yo, could I get
I know it took me a long time of living with you to realize that, like, you know,
understandable
what your schedule is, right?
That's understandable.
Because when, you know, to be fair, the rest of the world's on a different schedule.
No, that's understandable.
But you know, I'll definitely think twice next time. But all these times I went in for, you know, during the move, I was like saying a prayer before I go in. I was like, please don't be Krill. Please don't be Krill. So, bro, we got to go see this house in 5 minutes. And you're like,
I was like,
you emerge from your room just dressed to the nines, ready to go.
Yeah, it pounds pretty fast, man. I was excited though. Mentally, I was prepared. But I didn't wake up from the alarm. Maybe that was part of it. Maybe it was just like a natural. I don't know. But yeah, Krill's nasty. Shout out Riz for grabbing me this hat. What does it say?
Grill champ. Not Krill champ.
Yeah, grill champ. Grill. Saw this and he wrote me a nice note. Said there's only one cat on the planet that can rock this hat.
That's
Love
right.
You, dog.
Even though I use that grill way more than you do.
Yeah. Still the grill champ. Grill. Gotta get back to LeConte, baby. Gotta get back.
That's right.
Gotta get back. And
Christ almighty.
Great to be back on the mics here in a new spot. We're really excited to move. What else is going on in our lives, man?
My album is out.
Yeah. Go stream Nonstop Deathmatch. If you're listening to this right now, if you hear my voice, hey, I know a lot of people say, yo, go check this out. I'm challenging you to go check out this album. It is a masterful piece of art. I'm not saying that because this is one of my best friends. I'm saying that because this shit is fire, dude. It's an incredible record. Top to bottom, 0 skips. I saw the dedication that went into this. This kid's a true artist, and it's. I think it's a record that's going to change your life, bro. I think it
certainly feels
really,
like it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the kind words, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it. It's really good. It's really freaking good. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Go check it out.
On a broader note, to take us out, man, it's this is kind of an end of an era for us in this house. You know, we've lived in this house in Atlanta for about 3 years, and it was time. We were probably going to leave anyway, but, you know, we built our lives here in the Southeast in this home, man. We've been here literally since the day we moved here. And so we want to thank everybody that has, you know, watched us while we were in that studio and we, you know, supporting us through the podcast, and all of our friends who watch here in Atlanta who support our endeavors outside of the show. We thank you for that. And we look forward to getting in the new space, setting it up wherever in the house that may be. I'm not really sure. We're going to suss it out. We might try a couple different locations. So
we'll figure it out.
Bear with us. But
we're also thinking about changing the name of the podcast.
Yeah, let's address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So for those of you who know, and some of you don't, Amy Poehler recently released a podcast called The Good Hang Podcast. And it's worth noting that we had 6 episodes out before she even announced it.
Yeah.
So we had the name first.
Yeah, and it came to us. It was very organic the way it came to us.
Yeah.
We didn't force it. You mentioned it on an episode that you were talking about yourself, the Riz episode. If you go back and watch the Riz episode, it came up. and we were like, wow, that's what we should name our podcast.
Yeah.
And it was a bummer when a celebrity came out. We love Amy Poehler, but there's no shade.
Yeah, huge Amy Poehler fan.
But it was a bummer. And like, obviously, we want people to find our show.
Yeah.
We love this show, and it's going to be hard. So we're thinking about changing the name. We're not sure yet, but
yeah, I think we've got some contenders right now. But if you guys have any ideas for the podcast, please comment them below or wherever you're watching this. Shoot a comment, shoot us a DM. I like decent hang. I like that quite a bit. As we get older and our lives get harder, it does become decent. Maybe in 10 years it'll be the horrible hang podcast.
The dog shit hang.
But either way, it's still Gil. It's still me. It's still two microphones, and it's still us bullshitting over absolutely irrelevant information to distract you from the monstrosities of modern life. And with that, we leave you. Bang! From the couch.
The couch.
Winnie!
Let's go, baby.